Greetings, one and all. I am Kerrik52. That confrontation with Mamiya didn't go great, either for Yamamura or us. So now we're split up and Alpha Team is stuck in this dungeon. Not a good time. But we'll endure. And pick up this slide. What fresh hell awaits? It's just you. Well, no damage is good damage. What? Oh, that's her status effect. Yeah, I haven't paid attention to that before. Anyway. Heal her. Rebuild the team. And then, the gold key opens 4 different doors. I don't know if you caught it, or if it was even visible, but if we go back to Bravo Team, there is actually a gold key over here. So for once, the teams actually have to operate on their own, and we have another little collection quest to go on. And the first proper bout of backtracking as well. Let's start with this, and as you can see this is dirty, which is why I left Bravo Team here. Would mean a lot of backtracking otherwise, and we're doing enough of that as is. Surrounded, she threw herself in the furnace. Yeah, that makes sense. So let's grab this key. And dump the pick. And then if we look here, if you remember, one of the servants talked about laying out a dress for Mamiya. Here it is. So this is kind of a pseudo thing from the movie, because in the movie there is an important dress, but it doesn't actually belong to Mamiya. It belongs to Emmy's mother, if I remember correctly. And the fun thing about this, since it's a special secret item, much like the pulley, we look at Taguchi here. He's almost out of prayer points. But then we touch the dress. Pray up. And he's full. So all of a sudden I have an infinite source of prayer points, which means that random encounters aren't really a thing anymore. So here's the first door that the golden key opens. It's just a shortcut out. And the second door is right over here. So already we're halfway done with the backtracking. So Resident Evil would obviously take this a lot further and have a lot more of a complicated setup for its game structure. And hey, we're just back here. So much for separating the teams, eh? How cute. We'll take the free XP though. So we only have the one key here that actually leads somewhere special in an older part of the mansion. Whereas in Resident Evil you had a layered selection of... is it 3 or 4 keys? That intermingle with your initial, mid-term and long-term goals of the game. You know what, let's call for the other team so they can catch up. And it's one of the parts of Resident Evil that I always find the most interesting, because it speaks to a need to optimize, a need to speedrun, and a special way of learning how the game functions outside of direct combat. Because you can know how to deal with a zombie, that's kind of whatever. But knowing when to fight them, when to run away from them, when to ignore them, when to bring a certain item so you don't have to backtrack. Resident Evil also obviously doesn't have random encounters, so backtracking is a bit different. And we sort of did the equivalent of the guardhouse when we went out into the garden earlier. But a key difference is that, probably due to tech limitations here, we haven't had any new enemies, so we're sort of just cruising through this. Master of Unlocking, go! Think that's good enough. Though, do we have space? We want one of those. No space here. Oh no! How about you go back to bed? What was I trying to do? I want to free up a little bit of space. Let's give the dress here. Is that enough? Not yet, no. Anyone have room? No. I can do this anyway. So here's our last ice trap. It just kills you. Nothing like interesting or anything going on. So gotta be quick. Concentrate on what the projector shows to find the way. This is important. Push the statue outside. So if you remember way back in the beginning of the game, there was this weird like outside area with some statues and a note. We can now push the statue for some reason. Pick this, and then I think I'm gonna spend that to heal. So if I just summon the other team here and swap to Taguchi. So we get some turn priority here. I can spend all the prayer points I want. Is this enough? Yes, it is. And then we pick this back up. I'm almost being a bit too efficient with my healing. Well, I'm wasting HP there, but doesn't really matter. Obviously, if you don't find the dress and you can't obliterate the remaining difficult enemy encounters in the game, you're kind of in a tough spot, especially if you don't know where to go. But still, you don't really need to heal that much. As long as you keep yourself leveled and have somewhat decent weapons. I will be picking up the last set of weaponry as well this episode. Let's check back here. Now I kind of wish the game had the Earthbound auto-victory thing. Where random encounters you just die if you're too strong. But we're basically at that point anyway. They can't hurt me, so what does it matter? Let's get some unlocking out of the way. Put Emmy in the lead, and then maybe... Oh yeah, we can use the dress. I'll probably give that back. Slide. Yeah. Wait, no, am I? Asuka has the slide. So we give that... Alright, I... Ever so slightly confusing, this inventory system. Especially when I'm trying to min-max. Just a tad. There we go. And since I cleared this shortcut before, I have free reign. Let's unlock the last door. So we have done 3 golden key doors already. Which means this is the last one. That's it for the gold key. Which means I can dump it for a... what do I dump? These guys need some space, so... do it like this. So picking up the slides, that is our second multi-item quest. And yeah, I can't be bothered to go and grab the gloves, because the damage isn't that bad, actually. At least when you're this late into the game. So if we look at Taguchi here, he has 1280. 1260. So maybe I was overhyping the thorns earlier in the lake, but hey, it's all part of playing the game. So we have been collecting the candles also, and those are important. But I do like that the game is sort of dense enough that you can sort of collect multiple of these items at the same time. And we have actually been collecting stuff for the third and final group of puzzle items as well. All 3 of them sort of intermingle for the last bit of the game here. Again, that is something that you can optimize for and like dump the candles, because you know you won't need them for a while. Well, that's kind of obvious. I need all the slides. And that's sort of the decider for how your experience here in the late game will be, because I'm sort of just burning through it. Which I hope you appreciate. Let's go, I will go find Takashi, I will look near the garden. Yeah, did that. Which is this? Shiny axe. That is our 3rd best weapon in the game. So, Kazuo, if you would. Yeah, the game has sort of run out of enemy types at this point. I think we have 1 new enemy left. But over here it's just wolves and wolves and wolves. I swear to God if Emmy gets spirited... Okay, it's Asuka. Asuka's fine. Oh wait, is it... Was Taguchi the one with the... No, Asuka's the one with the slide. Ah. Okay, we'll dump this first. That should be Ichiro. And then here. That's not a good look. It's a baby. It's on fire. Okay, Asuka, where did you end up? Oh, come on! Let me just cut back to the projector room. Hey, this is the easiest enemy in the game that I never ran into before, I don't think. Let's see how Asuka does. Hey, she won. Glad I got to show that off. And then for the last slide... Oh boy. How... symbolic, I guess. Let's just huck some prayer at it and see what happens. This is also a scene from the movie. I think Emmy is the one who gets to look at it. Doesn't lead to a secret part of the courtyard, though. Sadly. Are you too strong enough for this? Nice. Yeah, being able to freely spend your prayer points is pretty good. Give that back here. Off we go. Haha. I'm kind of surprised they haven't done a recolor of that is like super powerful. Feels like that would be the move. Okay, shiny sword. That is better than the axe. But also much better than the spear. And lest you think that the twin key isn't useful anymore. And now we're back in the courtyard. With an axe. This team is kitted out. Ooh, but that's a shiny sword, isn't it? Go to bed. Does Bravo team need this? Not really. Which means... let's do it like this. Let's give Emmy this sword. And then Kazuo can have this one. And here's the key that's been taunting us for a while. Can't say I'm impressed. There we go. And there it comes. I feel like these dolls are trying to make up for lost time. And we take the slightly slower path, because I don't trust that board anymore. Just for funsies, how good is the lighter these days? Okay, so it seems to be like influenced by your level and not your weapons. That makes sense. Well, that's fun. Hey, let's try over here instead. I just want to use up the iron key. Dungeon unlocked. Here we go, the Lich. This is the last new enemy and the strongest one in the game. So I'm going to be praying that this is enough. You can get really unlucky with people getting blown away upstairs here. And then up here, look where we are. Ta-da! Not really worth the way around, but fun anyway. Why are you here? So I actually checked. There is nothing behind this mirror. You'd think there would be like a secret compartment with a weapon or something to make you backtrack for a mallet, but no, nothing. Might as well take the long way around. Save a couple of points of HP. Oh hey, that actually held. Neat. There is an element of randomness to it. Which does make the game more interesting, I suppose. Is this gonna be a problem? Possibly not. Hell yeah. Space, space. No space in this team. What about you? Tons of it, actually. What is it with this place and rivers of lava? Take this photo. Takashi went on his own. Stop him before he digs it up. So, this is the change from the movie, where this other group that we've been seeing the corpses of everywhere, or maybe multiple groups, I haven't really dug it together. They are the ones who dug up the baby casket and wait, no. Wait, was the baby casket? Wait, maybe the spiritual barrier rock was separate from the baby casket? This is slightly unclear. But essentially, we aren't the ones to blame. Though we did technically disturb the pillar thing later, even though it was pointless. Doesn't matter much. Like, there's only so much room for storytelling here. And the frescoes carried the brunt of it, I'd say. Use the 4 items at sign of change. This is important. This is how you beat the game. But still, I find it a very interesting fact that this game does have the strewn about notes and like the indirect storytelling and all that fun stuff. Because you wouldn't associate it with a Famicom game. Like, ever. Because there's only so much room for text. And when you're operating on 8 bits of 8-bit memory limitations, you can't really afford all of that text space. Well, if you're using Japanese characters, you can afford a bit more, but Still not great. Alright, let's actually explore this dungeon. For real. Once I pulverize this ghoul or whatever. Sorry, Lich. Give me some assistance, and you can just pray. Ow. Yeah, this thing has to go. That will be a great help. So will this note. Always leave someone outside with this rope. So far, the game has been pretty coy about the traps, and they haven't been that bad. That ends now. This trap is the worst. It is the most complicated, and it will probably end you. So I've been running around without save scumming. And here is where I would recommend you following along to save scum, just because of how complicated this can be. Taguchi and Asuka, you go here, and then we swap in Akiko here, because I want her to get a thing. So we break her from the team. Put her in this team. All good? Okay. Time for adventure. Okay, we're just stuck in the sand pit now. On the upside, here's the pitchfork from the end of the movie. This is our ultimate weapon. It kicks ass. So I'm gonna give this to Akiko, of course, because it is her moment of triumph. So she has 280, 213. $347 to 88. Doesn't get better than that. Now for this. Three statues block the path to her outer dimension. Not a very useful hint, but I liked the flourish. But this comes at a cost. Now the sand trap is active. And everyone is about to die. Time to go. And now I have to aim the bow. I think I got one of them. Come on. No. So isn't it kind of rad that all of a sudden we have this very stressful action element that will just kill your characters? Full stop. And crueler still, can I get out of here, please? Thank you. That's not the end of the troll. They've been like nice up to this point, but now it's just cruelty. But to be fair, they do give us a second pitchfork here. I can give that to Asuka. Yeah, that is about the emotion. But hey, now we're set and we can survive this place. which is going to be a bit of a journey. So we need to cross the river of blood here. Not lava, thankfully. And the best way to do that is to split up. So this is another little, survival gameplay flourish that I like. Where you have to split up in order to better move around. But you can't run too far ahead, because otherwise your other party members can't catch up. So you have to actually approach this with a sense of realism and actually respect the danger. Hey, let's see how much damage I can get with this thing. Ow. Okay, Akiko, murder. 368. Pretty happy with that. And also, as part of the thing I just mentioned about being slow and steady here, is the rest of the sand traps, which are mean and kind of pointless. Because there are no other items or any frescoes in them. It's just for goofs. And to teach you fear, I suppose. Let me show you. That's it! And then the last one. Not too bad. I think if they reach the pit in the middle, they are just instantly dead. And really, if you've managed to keep everyone alive so far, you shouldn't let them die here. Because we have our ultimate weapons now. Ultimate weapons capable of doing this. Nice and simple. Oh no, this was also a trap. And they evidently swapped things around just to make it as unpredictable as possible. If you didn't pick up the rope there and you didn't carry any bows, you have to backtrack in the time it takes for someone to drown, and that's not very fun. Alright, Kazuo, get up here. There we go. And that's it for the sand traps, and we're almost done with the bow as well. As far as escalation goes, this is about as mean as you can get within these systems, I feel. You could probably get away with harder enemies, but I am kind of glad that the combat is sort of just a like a long-term concern. It's not something that will get you with a surprise death. As I mentioned before, I'm not super duper familiar with 8-bit RPGs. I have played the Megami Tensei games, which are satanic in more ways than one. But even they don't have instant kills, I don't think. Maybe the sequel did. I can't remember. But there it's also like a matter of like having your big numbers and then making sure that the enemy's smaller numbers don't grind you down. Speaking of numbers. No, wait. Dress. There. And thinking of remake ideas again, I'm not sure how you would modernize this sort of thing, because it is a lot of it is dependent on the perspective and the exact team-up mechanics. I mean, if they wanted to, they could have, like, redone this, the same perspective on, like, the PSP or something with, like, simple character models or whatever. Oh boy, a curse. But a lot of the game's systems and feel and like everything is tied to the console it was made on. Which again is, or not again, I haven't mentioned this before. This is something that's been sort of lost over the ages, just because games have normalized and we have hit on standards that work. And for every interesting game like this, you have a ton of other games that were just floundering and really could have done with some genre standards to flourish. And that's something you also saw with Resident Evil, and one of the reasons why it's such a successful game is that it's one of those games that provided sort of a standard for its genre. I would point to games like Arkham Asylum and Assassin's Creed and Dark Souls and God of War that like put in like a good solid framework that's easy to steal from. Let's get you out of these spikes. And those kind of games are very important, but it does lead to like a more homogenized experience for the game-playing audience. Coffin, then through the wall. Can do. This requires some very precise inputs. Let's see. There we go. That's about the best way you can do it, I think. You have to be very, very careful about not stepping into the river too early, otherwise you're going to confuse yourself and panic, and then you're back to the beginning with only one character. And then you have to go back and save them, and that's the point of the area, more or less. But I know better. As soon as I can get through here. There we go. Sorry, Emmy. Kazuo flew away. Oh no. Oh, this could be bad. Let's rescue Emmy at the very least. Time to pray the danger away. Okay, Kazuo, where did you end up? You know what? Could be better. He could have also landed upstairs behind a plank. So nice that I get to demonstrate the threat this area represents. Okay, time to show what you're made of. What? Oh, son of a bitch! Oh no, I can't risk this. Crap. Okay. Team? It's time for a rescue operation. Emmy, you go along for the ride too. And here I was thinking this episode wouldn't be exciting. You can take him. Cursed? No. Okay, okay, ooh. Does this work? Yes, okay. Yeah, see, that's what I mentioned before about a curse taking place when I was in the middle of the water. And then that sucked. How are we on health? Yeah, we can make this. Is this good enough? Let's find out. It isn't. Hmm. Yeah, this turned into a situation. So I could risk... Oh, son of a bitch. Oh. Okay, Akiko, are you going to be where I want you to be? No! Oh my god! This is what I get for talking crap about the game. Oh. That thing broke. And the difficulty. I'm getting the full Sweet Home experience right now. Oh no. They're going to ruin Emmy's hairdo. Let's see if I risk this for nothing. Because I didn't want to be put in the position where Kazuo was, you know, falling to his death. Okay, it was close. I think I did some correct risk assessment there. Team! Yes! Alpha team is back together! We can win! How are we on numbers? Got some prayer points there, some there. More there. Good. Meanwhile, Asuka and Taguchi are just, like, having a smoke break over there. Die! Thank you. So when I first played the game, I was kind of just afraid of the sand traps, because that's where instant death is. Well, not instant death, near instant death. But I didn't have trouble with all of this. So it's interesting to get the other runaround. We need to save prayer points. Haha. I feel like I deserve a level up at this point, though. Okay, Emmy. There we go. I'm kind of surprised that Emmy wasn't the one that got spirited away, but maybe it runs in the family. I think I'm starting to understand the point of this enemy. The point of this enemy is that as long as you have prayer points, you're fine. But you need to make sure you can navigate all of this bullcrap before you run out. And there haven't been any tonics here either, I don't think. So you have to come prepared. And even when I'm messing around and failing a bunch, it still isn't that mean. Okay, last one. Also, I swear when I did some practice earlier, I did get a random encounter in the middle of the river of blood. Not a good time. Looked really funny, though. Because the enemy is stuck where you fight it. But your character slides away, but the battle continues. So to help them, you have to like track them down at the foot of the river. But then you fight the monster that's at the top, and it was pretty entertaining, but I'd rather not see that right now. Last one. Uh-oh. No. Okay, good. Those things can also blow you away, but they have less health, so who cares? We did it! And here's my reward. Peace of mind. And of course, for what I think is the last fresco, you need both items. The blue candles in hands. Yeah, see, that isn't the tricky part here. The tricky part is this guy over here. Yamamura, I failed. Amulet, photo, diary, coffin. In that order. Pray, your timing is important. So remember the 4 items at time of change. This is how we defeat Mamiya. So you can't just muscle your way through her. And numbers-wise, she isn't that tough, but you have to use the items in the right order. So that's our last fetch quest. And it just so happens... You know what, let's pray up. Asuka, give this to... There we go. Call me paranoid, but I think we need this. See? See? I'm right to be paranoid. Oh no, you don't. Inventory, inventory. So, we had a corpse or something that talked about this. It's a shortcut back! And better yet... here's the baby coffin. So if we look at our inventory now, we have the coffin, we have the photo, and we have the amulet. So all we're missing is the diary, which is just upstairs. We're east 1 screen and north 3 screens. So once we have that, we can actually go and fight Mamiya. Oh, you. I have had enough of liches, so I'm going to call it an episode. But next time, we will use the blue candles to breach Mamiya's outer dimension. And then go fight her. Who knows what that entails? Until then, farewell.